Hey everyone, welcome back to Unwind and Release. Of course, the place where you focus on your mindset shift, personal growth, and creating a fulfilling life. I'm your host, Portia, and today we're going to go over tackling something that all of us may face every now and then, is staying motivated and inspired when you have when you have when you have self-doubt. So of course, staying motivated and keeping yourself inspired is hard, especially when you have doubt, when you are just tired, when you are, just have a lot of obstacles that you have faced or facing, and you need to have a lot of things that you got to do. So things do feel tough, so let's get into it. So things do get tough, and sometimes you just feel like you are alone. So let's dive into how to stay motivated and consistent and inspired when you have self-doubt. Let's get into it. So having self-doubt, having obstacles that you have to face, and still trying to be motivated, why do we lose that motivation? Like, what's the problem? For me, I just feel like maybe there's things that aren't going as planned. Maybe self-doubt is making you question like your ability to do something. And I can say maybe the journey that you want, or the journey that you're on, is taking longer than you expected. Those type of obstacles, y'all excuse, I cannot, obstacles, those obstacles and self-doubt is going to really dictate your motivation and your inspiration for yourself to keep pushing forward. So the truth is, challenges and self-doubt are part of success. They don't mean you need to stop. It just means that you are growing. You are, beating your battle. You have to just keep going and just keep pushing forward when you do feel self-doubt, when you do feel uninspired. You still need to just keep pushing forward, because there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Just keep going. So the way that you can think about obstacles and shape them, how you can react to them a little bit better when you are going through, like the self-doubt and basically trying to keep yourself motivated when going through something, I would say think about your obstacles like a roadblock. Eventually, you're going to get past that roadblock. You have to just either take another turn to go another way, and you still end up where you need to be, or eventually it's just going to be open up and let you through around the roadwork. Now, instead of saying why me, think of it as like, what is it teaching me? So now you have an idea on, like, now you digging deeper into what you're going through and thinking like, okay, what is it trying to teach me? Instead of asking yourself like, why me? Why me puts a lot of pressure on yourself, a lot of hard feelings, like why you keep going through this. Don't do that. Just ask, what is it teaching me? So now you can open your eyes up and look at it differently. And I just feel like if you never actually doubted yourself, that means you're really not growing. But at the same time, I just feel like if you have gone through the same thing a lot, that means you have built your motivation and your confidence up to the point of where you can go through these problems without feeling, why me? So it's a decision in your mind that you have to make to keep you from being despiteful to yourself, to keep you from being unmotivated. So I'm not saying if you don't feel like, why me, you're not growing. I'm not saying that. No. Now let's get into like how to push through when you do feel stuck. So that's gonna be a huge one. Words, I know it's better said than done when you actually going through it. So don't think about it like that. When you go through it, just think about those words that we're talking about, and then that can help you hopefully stay motivated to get through what you're going through. So motivation, of course, do fade over time, and sometimes you forget why you even started. So for me, write down like your purpose, to keep you, to keep it visible, to remind you of yourself daily on why you started this, so that when you do go through that rocky time, now you have your paperwork to look back like, why am I here? Why am I doing this to myself or whatever? You had that paper right there on why you started. Now you have that additional inspiration right there in front of you. So I feel like sometimes we forget about the bigger picture because we feel so overwhelmed, and instead of focusing on how far we have to go to celebrate your small wins, celebrate your small successes as you're going through to become the person that you want to be. Celebrate your small wins, celebrate those small goals that you've accomplished along the way, because your environment influences your mindset. So when you listen to how inspiring your content, reading, stories, success stories, and staying close to people who uplift you is going to help you stay somewhat motivated. Of course, motivation is not always there, but when you surround when you surround yourself by people who are inspiring, by people who motivate you with those kind words, it goes a long way. Even just watching podcasts and things like that, it still take you a long way. So motivation do not always come first. Sometimes action has to come first. So don't always think about, I have to be motivated to do this. No. Once you take that action into doing it, I feel like that motivation comes right behind it. So the more you move forward, I feel like the more motivated you will feel. Because before I started this podcast, I was just like, I'm really like in my head. And then when I started making my videos, I felt good after my first video I made, and it actually looked it like something good. So I feel like that motivation comes behind once you take that step forward into doing what you want to do. So of course you're not going to always feel like 100%, and that's okay. But rest when you need it, but don't quit. Like the progress is better than the perfection. So when I started, like I said, when I started, it wasn't looking like I really wanted it to, but I'm going to get there. It takes time to get there. And yes, I'm starting at the bottom. However, I'm going to get to the top. I know it's going to take time to get there, and I'm all for it. So I celebrate my small wins when I need to. So at the end of the day, obstacles and self-doubt are a part of your journey, especially when you are going through something that's going to shift your whole world. Y'all already know I want to hear from y'all. So what's the first thing, or what's one thing that helps you stay motivated when things get tough? I want you to drop a comment or send me a message. Of course, if you don't feel comfortable dropping a comment, send me a message, because I just want to hear from y'all. But other than that, I just wanted to make this video to let y'all know, like, motivation is not always there. It is a temporary source. Being inspired is also temporary, but that's why you need to have your goals and everything written down. Have your plan written down. Have why you started or want to do something written down, so that can be your motivation when you feel like giving up, because that's going to be like huge, for real. With that being said, of course, if this episode has helped you, I do want to hear from you. So of course, send me a message or leave a comment, whichever you're comfortable with. And also, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Always take that extra step into building your confidence as well, because that's going to help when you don't feel motivated all the time. So having that confidence, having that motivation built together, you're going to win. It's going to take time, but you're going to win. So, but until next time, of course, always think to yourself, you are capable of doing anything that you put your mind to. So keep pushing forward. You got this. See y'all next time.